If you get a heavy PC, you gotta step up and see what you can do, because no matter how hard you try to stand up and fix it, you will just stay right where you are, unable to go. And no matter how heavy the PC is for you, if you can't lift it, that doesn't mean you should quit. And if you are waiting for the new RGB case just to see, I brought you the metal case from HP. And this time, no matter how hard you try to turn it on, and it needs someone to fix it, and before we worked on it and try to fix it, we had to deal with the dust problem first. So we grabbed the blower and thought the best thing to do before the repair was to take the case outside and give it a good blast of air. And with that, the PC is clean and ready to go, and all that's left is to start the repair. So the first thing we are removing is the cooling fan you see in front of you, and that's because the RAM here is ECC memory, which continuously correct errors, and it always found in workstation system like the Z600. And even so, there is only one stick installed and all other slots are empty, and for the customer I think that was plenty. And this is a 16GB DDR3 12800 RAM stick from SK Hynix, and because it has a letter R on it, you can use it in workstation systems. And if you know what it stands for, let me know in the comments. And if we go down a little, you will see the adapter right in front of you. And if you have been following the channel for a while, you already know how much I hate these adapters, especially because there is another 6-pin cable underneath it that we can connect directly to the GPU. And let's start by removing the well-known RX 580 8GB DDR5 graphics card. And whenever you take a component out of your PC, try to put it on something soft like clothes or even a mouse pad. As for me, I like to use this rubber mat that you always see in my videos. And after that, we remove the battery, or you could call it the CMOS battery, so we can reset the PC back to its factory setting. After that, we got the expensive toothbrush you see right in front of you ready, and using thinner we started cleaning the RAM slots nice and steady, one by one, until everything were done. After that, we moved down to the two graphics card slots and clean them too. And now let's move to the other components and clean them with the eraser too. And the first thing we are gonna start with is the RAM, and as you can see, there is quite a few chips on it, because DDR3 was only available in 8GB model. But as for the 16 and 32GB RAM models, those were made specifically for workstation systems, and you will always find the R letter on them, just like the RAM we have here. As for the graphics card, we also clean it with the eraser to remove any oxidation or oil residue. And of course, we couldn't forget about the SATA SSD, which we didn't even know where it was. And this is a 240GB drive, and we had to make sure it was working properly. And on HD Essential, the health was 100%, and there were no issues with the temperature. As for the transfer speed, it was around 400 megabytes per second, but after about 30 seconds, it dropped to 100 megabytes. And I wouldn't say the drive performance is done, but of course, it's up to the customer if they want to buy a new one. Now let's move on to the 2TB HDD from Western Digital, and the drive showed 100% health, but we decided to leave it running on the regenerator to see if there were any bad sectors. Now let's take the RAM and put it back in the PC, and since the PC we have here is workstation and doesn't have integrated graphics, so we had to install the RX 580 and see if the PC would display an image the first time, or if it's gonna be like every time. But before we connect the power cable, let's first check some comments, and we have a comment from Adam. Says, I have a PC that I'm trying to turn on, but it runs with no display for about 10 or 15 seconds, then shuts off and turns back on, and the same thing keeps happening over and over. Look, there are three things we are gonna suspect here, and the first one is the RAM. For example, if you have two RAM sticks, you can clean them and put them back in, or you can even install just one of them. And if the PC works fine, then you know the RAM stick you removed is the one causing the problem. As for the second thing, it's the power supply, and this one is a little harder because you will need to try another power supply to make sure the problem is coming from it or not. And the third one is the cooling. You need to make sure that there's no gap between the heatsink and the CPU, and hopefully it will be something simple that you can do. Now we are back to our broken PC, and will it actually work or not? That's what we will see. And we connected the power cable and turned on the PC, but as you can see, nothing happens, like we didn't do anything at all. But to understand the problem better, after we press the power button, the fan starts spinning and then stop, and the PC powers off by itself without giving us any beep or anything. And the first thing we should suspect is the power supply, but we decided to replace the graphic card first in case it was causing an issue with the motherboard, and it's not really the most logical thing to do, but we decided to give it a shot. I mean, we are not really gonna lose a lot. And we immediately removed the 6-pin cable that doesn't burn, and we took the RX 580 out of the PC, and we went to grab another graphics card to test it, and we decided to go with the old one that always worked for us, the GTX 750 Ti, the 2GB DDR5. So we connected it directly to the PC and gave it a try, and to make sure it was secured probably in place, we locked it down to hold it in place. But unfortunately, the lock itself needed someone to hold it and put it back in place, and for the second time we reconnected the power and turned on the PC, but unfortunately nothing happens more, and the fan spin and then stop again just like before. And at this point all our suspicion goes to the power supply, so we only had one shot and see if it would work again or not. And I was still standing there thinking about who could fix a big power supply. Ahmoudi walked in, took it from me and didn't even reply, and he took it straight to Uncle-Gad and threw it at him to fix it. But before he got carried away and hit him, Ahmoudi pulled out the big screwdriver and threatened him. Then Uncle-Gad replied, "That's it, I got you. Just give me an hour and it will be like new." And the first thing we do is connect the power cable, and the power supply starts up right away with auto start. And this is a feature you will find in server power supplies like the one we have here. And since the power supply starts up right away and didn't shut off like it does in the PC, we decided to measure its output and see if there was a problem or not. So we grabbed the multimeter and connected the ground to the power's body, and we started measuring the 12-volt rail, and it was working perfectly with no issues. Then we decided to measure the 5-volt rail as well, and it was working perfectly with no issues. And the only test we had left was to put a load on the 12-volt rail, which powers the CPU and the graphic card, and see if it shuts off or not. And to test this, I had already prepared a 70-watt light bulb, and to make sure we connected the multimeter as well to see if the 12-volt rail will drop or not. And after we connected everything probably, we closed the circuit and the power supply stays on and nothing blows up. Now let's get back to our broken PC and see what we can do so we can get it working again like it used to. Then we put the 10 kilo dumbbell back in its place so the captain wouldn't get mad at us, and we decided to remove the CPU so we could check it for any problems and see if any of the pins are broken or bent or if there is anything wrong with them. So we went straight to the tool drawer and grabbed the screwdriver we needed to remove the CPU, and we started removing the screws one by one until we took off the first one. Then we kept going with the rest of the screws until we removed the second one, and we used some tissue to wipe off all the old thermal paste so it wouldn't stick to our hand or get on the other components. And very carefully we decided to remove the first CPU, but the socket looked fine and none of the pins were bent or broken. As for the second socket, it turned out to be fine too, with no issues at all. So we said while we were at it, let's clean the socket of the CPU and use the Akai spray you see in front of you, and it will clean the pins without bending or even breaking anything in the socket. And as you can see, we marked each CPU so we can tell them apart and do a test with them that you're about to see. But first to clean them with an eraser just in case there was anything on them that could cause a problem. And after the tunnel dried and everything was good, we put each CPU back back in its own socket, and we connect the power and turn it on the PC, but the fan spin then stop again, and the PC still shuts off right away. So we said there was only one thing left to do. You can actually buy a Z600 with just one CPU, so we can remove one of the two, and this way, if there is an issue with the CPU or even its VRM circuit, the PC might be able to run on the other working CPU. And we connect the power and turn it on the PC, but the fan spin and then stop again, and nothing changed as you can see. Even after removing one CPU and installing the other one, the PC is still doing the same thing and nothing changed. And since we didn't have any other CPU that we could install on the same socket we have here, and no matter how many measures I took from the motherboard, I couldn't find any short or any problems I could record. At the same time, I had two problems, and the first one was, no matter how much I searched around the shop, it was really hard to find another Z600 motherboard to take any components from and test. I mean, we had plenty of other motherboards like the Z240 and other HP motherboards. As for the second problem, we have repaired plenty of power supplies and broken motherboards before, but honestly we have never worked on a workstation motherboard before. So we bought everything back in its place before we were gone, and we called the customer and told him what's going on. And as the saying goes, if you don't know, just make something up, and you can judge a book by its cover, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that's it. And we reached the end of the video, and I hope you learned something useful. This was Brother Gad, and see you in the next video.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ